Up everywhere. You get dizzy. You probably throw up everywhere.
You have to do that thing when you get the
dude. All right, you need to stop.
That's what they do. You get the.
You look like you're doing something else. Just stop.
That's what they do. And so I have a friend. That's all time. All you hear from him.
I know. Make it up everywhere. You get dizzy. You probably throw up everywhere.
You have to do that thing when you get the.
Dude. All right, you need to stop.
That's what they do. You get the.
You look like you're doing something else. Just stop.
That's what they do. And so I have a friend. That's all time. All you hear from him.
I know. Make it so obvious. I don't even pack anymore like that. Pause. But. Well, that's what it's called. It's called patching.
Joey's you pack.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great holiday weekend and that we are remembering what this is for. This is not for us to just stuff our face, and Lord knows I have stuffed my face enough. Yeah, I thought maybe I'd have a chance at playing one technique for the Cowboys, but Jerry Jones hasn't called, so I'm going to have to abandon that theory and go back to losing weight. I'm trying to get in touch with Mozzie Smith and find out what he did to lose all that weight, because maybe I can get onto that diet as well. So in the meantime, we're here doing what we've been doing now for, I guess, 3 years. And I got my man Troy Daniels up in the house. Troy, how are you doing? Fresh off of Game Time Brian's live stream. Game Time has gone to the Mark Holmes School of YouTube and has got his Sunday streams going as well. I had
They'll probably be joining us soon.
I had a little scare there earlier this week where I saw that you had went back into the hospital, but I'm glad to say I hear that everything is fine and that everything is good to go.
Much, much better.
So,
thank goodness.
I am actually headed back into my journey. I was gone, for that, I guess, 10 or 11 days to Vermont, and I literally lost my mind. Good afternoon, Gina, Dallas Diva. Gina, I'm looking for a picture of you and your husband, FYI, from the shirts for Miss Tracy. Lady Libra in the house, Regina Green in the house, Chris May in the house, Dallas Cowboy for life in the house, Jeff Lee in the house. Shout out to everybody who's in the house. What's kind of crazy is I'm getting back on keto, people. I'm and I've already gotten people who've told me I'm an idiot. Beyond just getting on keto, that it's dangerous. But what I was doing up in Vermont, man, between the
it depends. I mean, you can do it safely. I mean, I did it once before.
Well, there's a couple of ways of doing keto, because some people think that it's just going to Burger King, getting like double Whoppers with extra bacon on it. There is dirty keto, where you don't care if it's processed food or not. The way I do it, though, is I end up eating actually a lot of, grilled vegetables and things like that. I get my proteins and things, but everything is kind of done from scratch as opposed to processed. And it has worked for me. My problem is football season comes around and Jerry Jones screws me over, and I just get back into eating everything. It was... Yeah. When we were up in Vermont, it was like we had the maple syrup, and oh my God, that is like crack. If you've had real maple syrup, we bought like a half-gallon bottle of it, and it's like 4 different flavors depending on how long it is. I mean, they got like maple ice cream and maple liquor. I mean, it's just like
Did you bring some home?
Yeah, I did.
Now,
now, here's the thing: is I did find out that it's actually good for you, because of the antioxidants and stuff, being that it comes from the tree, as opposed to the Aunt Jemima that you buy in the store, which has got no maple in it. It's all artificial. But between that, the sodas, the candy, the chips, the subs, and all, I just ate like crap. And so I got to do something about it. So I'm working on that. So anybody who is wanting to see what we're doing with that, check out my other channel, Cooking and Tailgate with Joe Boo. So I see we got everybody up in the house. We got loyal Cowboys here, Wade Walker's here, Larry Woods, Larry certainly would, and Chris May joining us. My question for the day is, Jerry Jones was asked the question, have the Cowboys, do they have a culture problem? His response to that was, if running the football and stopping the run is culture, then yes, we do. Do we feel like we have done anything to address the culture issue? And I'll leave it at that.
What does Jerry know anywhere? He's just sitting in his chair signing those checks.
Here's my thing. And Walker Wade, Walker, I love you, bro. You are like my kid, bro, Walker. You know, that time you bought me the ticket and stuff when we played the Eagles and we got our ass
when we got blown out by the Eagles, we were miserable. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that game. But we had a great tailgate ahead of time, though. We had fun. Yeah,
we did.
The outcome was there. And I know you can't stand my quarterback and you're ready to move on and stuff. But in the same breath with Jerry Jones, you don't consistently win games without doing something right. You know what I'm saying? As bad as our team we have not had the postseason success. Maybe we're just stuck in the middle somewhere where we're not bad enough to get the players to be great, but we're not bad enough to get there. I don't know what it is, but you don't win 12 games without doing something right. You know, it can't be just dumb luck, can it? Do the Cowboys just luck into 12 wins?
I guess it just depends upon who's coaching.
I look at right now, I feel better about my defense and Mike Zimmer because the thing I liked about Dan Quinn was he was aggressive, but his philosophy was, I coined it as heat-seeking missiles. He had his players that were tall, kind of lanky, fast, that could get upfield. I look at Mike Zimmer more of like he's going to carpet bomb. Like he's got the dumb bombs. He's got the 5,000-pound bombs. And he's going to attack you, but he's going to bludgeon you, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I feel like maybe he's what they need right now.
Thomas is here.
Somebody was saying Thomas was a little lit up today. Does Thomas had a little taste today?
You can't get rid of me.
Hey, Doug.
You can't get rid of me.
Who said we were trying to get rid of you? So
you can't get rid of me.
Okay, Thomas, we ain't trying to get rid of you. We're just trying to get you to comment on the subject here.
You know, I think we should let him and the other person just kind of take the show over today, and then we'll get off.
What subject?
Well, we're trying to figure out, is Mike Zimmer going to be the answer? You know, a lot of times you have a coach who's too much of an authoritarian, and the players reject against him. Then they get the players coach, and then the players coach ends up being too friendly with the guys. And then you get a Bill Parcells that puts a foot in the ass. And that feels like what we've done with Mike Zimmer. Do we feel like that maybe Mike Zimmer will hold accountability for these players? And maybe that accountability will lead to them not being weak-minded when they get punched in the face.
Yes, I think so, because, there comes a time when you need a coach like that. You need a coach, like you just said, Mark, you need a coach that's going to put a foot in your ass and tell you, hey, this sport and shit, hey, no. Y'all are bad motherfuckers, man. Just put it like this. Pardon my language, Mark. Y'all are some bad boys. All of this sportness and everything. It's time to play ball, man. It's time that y'all need to, start playing and stop being sport and everything. It's time that y'all need to, just start handling your business. Mm-hmm. You know, nothing against DQ, none against DQ. You know, DQ, he was a good DC. Don't get me wrong, he was good DC. But you know, his problem was he wanted to be your uncle. We needed a daddy. We needed a daddy.
Not just a regular dad. You needed not just a regular dad. You need that blue collar dad that would come.
You need a drill sergeant.
Yeah, that would come home and put a foot in your
We needed a drill sergeant's dad, a drill sergeant daddy. That's what I meant. We needed a daddy where we needed a daddy where if you slip one good time, he'll put a foot in your ass and tell you, hey, you need to get your shit together, or that's gonna be a problem with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and we needed that DC where we need you can't be up in that we need you down on the field. That up in the stadium junk, we need you down behind enemy lines with the players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need you behind enemy lines with the players.
I love this comment by Double Star. Randy Gregory is a perfect example of bad culture. He tackles the O-lineman because he can't control his anger, and the coaches leave him on the field. I have to agree with that 100%.
See, that's that mental jump.
Mm-hmm.
That's that mental jump. And that's what we've been going through for the last few years. It's that mental jump. We got the Super Bowl team, but it's that mental that play a role in what's holding us back.
Well, here the real fan says, all that sounds great, but players have to want it, want to win. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Now, true, you have to have desire, but sometimes, you know, you get away with things and you don't think it's a problem because you still are winning. And I keep looking and thinking that no matter what happens, the Cowboys are always on prime time. The Cowboys are always talked about. Even when they lose, they're always talked about. Everybody's always got a camera in your face. And at some point you believe that you're maybe better than what you really are. And, you know, when you show up, all of a sudden you find out the hard way that you don't have the desire that the guy across the field does. And that's where having that coach that can keep you grounded and keep you humble and keep you hungry makes a difference.
Mark, you have to put.
Which one of you crazy bastards said Beetlejuice?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Mark, you have to forgive. Mark, you have to forgive me, man. I got a few shots of tequila in me right now.
Only
man.
a few.
You're feeling it. Hey,
you mean quite a few?
We're on
don't
a good
you?
mood. We're off work tomorrow. Well, most of us. So you know, we just join the night.
There you go.
The day.
Yeah. Enjoy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Leo is back. Definitely.
Oh hell.
That's all good.
Oh hell.
You know, we can tell him that his team's defense is going to be ass, relying on 2 rookie cornerbacks. How about that?
It's now the Leo show.
Yeah.
It's now the Leo show.
No,
You really think we're relying on 2 rookie quarterbacks, or is it just that's what most of the talk is about?
Well, you know what? The guys that were veterans you relied on weren't shit. You might want to hope that the rookies are better.
Mark, we have 14 DBs on our team.
Oh boy, yes. And how many? How many of them are good?
Somebody gonna have to go, dude.
Yep.
14 defensive backs. Yeah, somebody gonna have to go.
Yeah. It's going to be a real iron sharpens iron type of situation that's going to be going on. So I'm excited.
And what I've been told, I was told that a big time name in y'all secondary is going to be let go.
Bradbury?
I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're going to find out for yourself. I don't want to hurt no feelings or nothing.
No, you believe me. We are in a. This is a really, really good time for our secondary. Our secondary. I've maintained that thought process the entire time we've been on these calls. I've said I'm really excited about what our secondary is going to look like this year, considering the youngins that we drafted last year and who's coming back, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be great.
I was told this from a Philadelphia Eagle fan on who the players going to be let go, but Saturday, June the 1st, you'll find out who it is. I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
Oh, you believe me? I understand right now. It's not the best time to be a Cowboys fan, and the things that I cannot begin to empathize with the things that you all have to worry about right now.
Hold on, Leo.
Not even
Leo, kiss my ass.
I understand.
Okay.
If I were you, I would be the same way.
Bro. This ain't any different than anything we've had to deal with forever. Okay. You know what? I said this ain't anything different than we had to deal with at any other point. Seriously, this was last year. Identical. The year before, identical. The reason why we are sitting here right now, this is 3 years running because we started this as a bitch fest, as fed up Cowboys fans that were here to console each other because 2020 was so abysmal that we literally, our quarterback broke his ankle and was decapitated. We were sold that Andy Dalton, there was no drop off, and we see how the red Jesus was nothing. We lost, Jason Garrett and everything. It was just like everything was shit. So we ended up winning the division, go 12-5 when nobody expected us to do shit. The Eagles, who were thought to be high up here, were supposed to be great, automatically going to the Super Bowl.
We still beat the brakes off the Eagles.
There you go. And you guys tanked. If anybody should be disappointed, it should be you, bro. Your season was more disappointing than the Cowboys. They didn't go into the season and say, Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl contenders. No, they said Eagles. They should have won the Super Bowl. They are the best team in the NFC. I listened to Philly 500 who said you were going to go 16-1. And what did you do going down the stretch? And you have the nerve, Leo, to come in here and say, I feel sorry for the Cowboy fans right now. Bro. Did you come up with a new strand that literally makes your brain go caca?
Okay, it's strain as in train, not strand as in stand.
Okay, whatever
Strain
it
as
is.
in train.
Okay, the crazy left-hand weed that you smoking, man. Did you come up with the new version of it that's really just fucked your head up? Because as I see it right now, your coach is on the hot seat just like my coach. Your team fired 2 coordinators and everything else and are starting over from scratch. Your team has as many questions as the Dallas Cowboys. So don't come in here all arrogant on this weekend.
No, we don't.
Like you're all high and mighty.
True.
You know what?
That you're up here looking down at us, bro. Bro, we eye to eye. We eye to eye here.
It's on the hot seat, pal.
That's not true.
I still say the jury's out on Jalen Hurts. He might regress.
There you go. You got 1 out of 3 seasons where he was great.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So.
And if Jalen Hurts regresses,
yes, we're ganging up on you, Leo. We're ganging up on you.
And I love it. I want all the smoke. To be honest with you, even after everything that you just said, I still cannot begin to empathize with any of you. And I really do. I really do, pity you guys.
Don't cry for me, really. Argentina.
Not really. I am basking in you all's, I'm basking in all this turmoil you guys are going through right now. And so I understand that whatever it is that you need to tell yourselves in order to feel better, I'm cool with it. Realize this is a Cowboys safe space. And I'm the visitor, so I'm okay. Believe me, I'm okay.
Dude,
I just know that I'm not the one
safe space.
Yeah, I don't have to. You don't like. Mark, you don't have to try to sell me.
Oh, God, what is going on?
Hey, look,
But you know
I'll
what,
say
Leo?
this much.
I got
You
more
got
respect for you
cojones
than
there,
any
bro.
other Eagle fan because you actually have balls to come on our live
You
stream.
got cojones.
Thank
All
you,
these
man.
other
Thank
trolls,
you,
they
bro.
just sit there and put all these comments out there, but you actually come on here. So I got a lot of respect for that.
I appreciate
What's up,
that. And
James?
You know, there's
I'm,
nothing. I got nothing but
I
love
want to
for
be
you, man.
respectful. What up, Game Time? Look,
Going on,
all
man?
I know is that we do not have the same complaints. We do not. You know, and it starts with number one. Let's go from the top down. You know, because I do believe that attitude is a direct reflection of leadership. I learned that working for General David Petraeus. So I'm telling you, your owner is your biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. Hey, it wasn't even 3.5 weeks ago. It wasn't even 3.5 weeks ago. Mark was watching Jerry talk and then stood up, went to the back of the room and screamed, "What
That
the
wasn't
fuck
3
are you
weeks
talking
ago.
about, Jerry?"
I'll grant you, Cowboys and
I
idiot.
can't even empathize with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
being that way. It wasn't just playoffs last year. You know, Mark was the one who was crying, talking about, "I sell this over and over again, and I do this." And I cannot begin to empathize. And when you guys, the first time Mark asked me about the collapse of last year, and I remember telling you guys, we need an entire offseason in order to find out what the hell happened, because a collapse like that means that something catastrophic was happening that we would need an offseason to find out. And you know what?
I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop you right there. Look, bro. The way both of our seasons ended,
You know what?
I don't look at you and say, you're up
Not for the
here
same
and
reasons,
we're
though.
down here. The bottom line is there was one team that finished the season happy last year. That was Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody else was a failure. Doesn't matter if you were one step short. Everybody was a failure. San Francisco, Jason M., you were failures. You didn't win it. And that means every single one of those teams need to look in the mirror and say, what can we do better? I don't look at you. Sorry, I don't. I don't look at your team and your roster and say, you are head and shoulders better than the Dallas Cowboys. I don't.
That's part of your problem right there.
And maybe
that is part of your problem right
know
there.
what?
with
You
all
know
the
what, Leo?
questions
You
you
know
have
what,
on
Leo?
defense
Bro,
and you
last
changing
time I seen the
coordinators.
Eagles play the Cowboys, they got beat down.
I was saying-
you know,
thank
that's
you.
the thing is the Cowboys are good at beating up on the Eagles.
There you
The
go.
Cowboys are good at beating up on the Eagles. If they fail at everything else, they are good at beating down the Philadelphia
you.
Eagles. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir.
Once a year.
Now, I can't say that about San Francisco. I can't say that about San Francisco.
And I'm going to tell you. I told Mark a couple of years ago, and I'm going to tell you. Your team have always had a reputation of sliding late in the year.
Ooh.
And this go all the way back to the 90s.
That's not true.
And you know this. You know this. Just go back. Just go back to the 90s, dude. Y'all have always had a reputation of sliding late in the year. Just go back to the 90s. It cost Buddy Ryan his job. It cost Coach Tight his job. It cost Ray Rose his job.
Yeah.
And
Now you would have to go back.
I don't want to call
Tom was taking another shot.
because I don't want to get a little personal. But
I'm dying to.
Dracula, he better be careful because it may cost him his job.
I'll say this: the difference between us and you guys is that you'd be hard pressed to find a Dallas Cowboy fan who knows the name of the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to find any kind of a fan from most teams
Jeffrey Lurie
who knows
What are you talking
the
about?
name of the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
But hold
I
on.
know who
But
the
hold on, Leo.
I know who the Academy Award winner Jeffrey Lurie is. I know he's an Academy Award winner.
I'm
and
not
I know
talking.
he's a movie
But hold on. But hold on.
Look,
But hold. Wait. Hold it. Luke, just stop here for a second.
I'm not talking about you guys.
Wait, Leo.
Yeah,
Leo.
yeah.
And this comes from even your Philly 500 comes from Dan and all that. That Jeffrey Lurie's son And his analytics are all over the coaching staff and being forced on Nick Sirianni. Part of the reason why Nick Sirianni ended up getting the job with them was because he basically said, I'll be your lapdog and do anything else that you want to.
Yes.
So don't act like that, oh my God, Jeffrey Lurie is, he's Saint Jeffrey and his shit don't stink too.
I give the Eagles front office a lot of credit, but I will say the way it did come down, the way it collapsed, the way the whole Doug Peterson didn't return because he wasn't willing to play ball with the analytics department and with Jalen Hurts. Doug Williams wanted what he wanted, and they weren't willing to give it to him. They brought in Sirianni. This isn't me talking, Leo. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry. Yeah. And that's not alcohol related. No. But no, well, Thomas it is, but mine it's not. But and that's coming from Billy 500, Dan Saleo. That was a big story. Yeah. It was leaked from inside the locker room. So I will say this. Jerry Jones is rubbing off a little bit on Jeffrey Lurie because he's allowing this type of stuff to take place with the, like Mark's saying, like, well, you got to play ball with our analytics department. Basically, Sirianni said, all right, I'll take the job and I'll let you guys do what you want. He ain't doing much on the team.
No,
it's only a matter of time.
He is Jason Garrett.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, and I've maintained this throughout my time being on here, which is I always tell you guys, you know what I'm saying, as long as I see activity, you know what I'm saying, if you identify if there's a problem and you course correct, however you need to course correct, as long as I see you trying to course correct. Do I know that this course correction is going to work? No. But what I do know is that what we're not going to do is continuously repeat the same thing year after year after year. Yeah. And that's what, to me, that's what I call a solid organization right there. Because, again, we're not afraid to hit the reset button. We did it a couple of times in the same number of years that Dak has been your quarterback.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's the thing that I think is, is something that is one of the biggest reasons or variables is why I say I can't begin to empathize with what it is that you guys are going through. You know what I'm saying? Because if this year is a catastrophic failure like last year was, despite the fact that we went to a Super Bowl with Nick Sirianni, he's going to be gone. Just like when things weren't going well between ownership, the front office, and the coaching staff, with a coach who won us a Super Bowl, he was gone.
Got rid of him. And
we seem to have recovered fairly well, considering we've hit the reset button a couple of times.
I can't argue with that.
Most teams don't. When you have, and I understand. That's why I always tell folks when I understand what Mark is saying when it comes to that. Like, do you guys? Most people don't realize how hard it is to recover from changing of a quarterback or a coach. That's tough.
Or even a coordinator.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Not to mention defensive coordinators too. I mean, look, it's so hard that they actually give teams who have a first-year new coach, who just got their new coach, they actually give them an extra couple of practices or something like that. They get to start camp early and all that other stuff. So I understand that, but the thing about it is that the one thing I can say about my squad is they're not afraid to go ahead and make that change. Not to mention, they're not afraid to try to bring in whatever personnel that they can get their hands on, quality personnel, to make that happen too. So if James Bradbury becomes a post June 1st cut, fine, so be it. I'm not afraid of that. Because I want to see that. I want to see some sort of an activity that means course correction. I understand that we don't know if it's going to add up to success, but you know what? Activity is important to me. When you have inactivity, you start talking like a Cowboys fan. Because you start hearing the negative things that they say
about
the Dallas Cowboys.
Leo.
They stood pat and they did not
pay
Dak.
Are you married?
They should have paid Dak. They didn't bring in this person. They let Stephon Gilmore go. They didn't bring this. Mozzie is not. He done lost weight, but now he got to put on weight. All this other stuff.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's the difference between the Cowboys and the Eagles. And I'm going to tell you exactly the difference. We're really about equal when it comes to getting talent on the team. The difference is the Cowboys say in the draft, we're going to get a receiver, and they go out and they get a CD Lamb. You guys went out, and how many years in a row did you guys try and get that number one receiver in the draft? You guys had to.
Like Jalen Reagor and Arcega Whiteside.
Yeah, all
and so on and so forth.
right.
Got it.
So you got your number one guy, but you had to go out in free agency to get him, right?
No, we also drafted Devontae.
Yeah, but he's not as good without AJ.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes, he is. And
we'll find out. We'll find out when he's gone.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay. All right. Be that as it may.
Mark, come on.
Okay.
Listen.
Be that as it may.
I know you want to push a particular narrative.
Listen to me for a second.
But you don't have to devalue a receiver, a fine receiver like Devontae Smith.
We'll say he's great, but then you ended up drafting 3 other receivers before you finally got to him. Right?
No, he was our first round draft pick.
No, bro.
Because you guys drafted Micah right after him.
Bro. Years leading up to him, when you had Whiteside, when you had Reagor and stuff, you kept trying to get a wide receiver right there.
So, Mark, would you say that they've learned a lesson? How have they done since Devontae?
I'm going to say, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm going to say. Well, the jury's still out. I'm not sure Jordan Davis is worth everything that they paid for him.
Have you seen him lately? He has no gut, Mark.
Okay, he has no gut. Let's see how he plays on the field, though.
Yeah, but again,
I saw him.
Activity,
listen,
Mark.
I saw him bulldoze somebody in practice too.
What you said. Put it like this: it seems like if you look at Jordan Davis, I would think that he heard everything that Mark Davis and everybody, Mark Holmes and everybody on this podcast had to say about it.
Okay,
it seems like it looks like he heard it because he went home and activity-wise came back and looks like he's ready to go.
So it's year number 3 that we're hoping that he's going to be the player that he was when you drafted him.
Hey, you know what? If that's what it takes, so be it.
So how come Mozzie Smith can't do that?
I didn't say he did. I never said he couldn't. Well, listen, I am not comparing Jordan Davis to Mozzie Smith. What I am saying is I'm just saying activity, course correction.
Okay.
Front office,
here's what I will say.
Coaching staff, course correction. Players are holding themselves accountable.
All right.
And you know, remember,
I can't even get a word in.
Have you seen Devontae lately?
Okay, and we'll see how they play on the field.
He looks good.
Have you seen Overshown for us? Have you seen Overshown?
We're not talking. All I'm saying is, and that's a conversation, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Mark. But what I am saying is look, if you're going to compare apples to apples, fine. But let's talk about activity. And when I'm talking about activity, I'm talking about, hold on. Here, just let me get something in here, Leo. Go ahead,
okay,
bro. Go ahead.
Here's the thing: when we let go Randy Gregory, everybody said we needed to go out and get somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. How can you let a guy like that go? But see, the thing is they said we have Dorrance Armstrong. And Dorrance Armstrong was on the roster. We as Cowboy fans said, you're crazy. You need to go out and sign somebody. Dorrance Armstrong has had a better career than Randy Gregory has had the last 2 years. He was a guy that was on the roster that they knew was going to step up. We kept talking about we needed to draft a right tackle and things, but they had an undrafted guy who didn't look that good his rookie year that they knew was going to be able to play well in Terrence Steele. So what I'm saying is the Cowboys have a lot of pieces that they know are going to be like a big bump up. When you get back a Diggs, because you're saying you let go Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, I let go Stephon Gilmore, but I'm getting Diggs back. So am I taking a step backwards? Am I taking a step backwards by that transaction?
I believe so.
I don't think so.
I believe so.
Stephon Gilmore was good in places. Stephon Gilmore was good in places. Stephon Gilmore was not the same guy he was, say, 3 years ago.
Skill position wise,
okay. If you're going to tell me,
I think Marshawn Leland's going to take Sam Williams' job. Bank on
right, and he may. And you've got potential there. All I'm saying is there's guys that the Cowboys always come up with that nobody really knows, but all of a sudden they become players. That's all I'm saying. And that's the difference and that's the difference where the Eagles go out and they bring in these free agents, and some of the free agents you bring in, you're not necessarily getting the same bump, or we're getting about the same thing that we're getting by being able to evaluate the talent and bringing them in.
I disagree with you, Mark.
Come on, man.
Totally disagree.
Bro. Look at all of the cornerbacks you guys have been bringing in the last few years.
Free agent.
Look at all the cornerbacks that you constantly bring in. I look at a guy who was drafted in, what is Bland, 5th round in 2 years?
5th round.
Yeah, and look at the production that you've gotten from him. I'll take him against anybody that you've signed as a free agent cornerback and spent buku money for.
We got the best secondary in the division. Easy.
No, you do not.
How do you say that? We got the 2 best corners.
Diggs and Bland?
Diggs and Bland are better than anybody you got.
You got 2 rookies that may be starting, bro. You don't even know what they're going to be.
2 cornerbacks are all pros, dude. What you talking about?
Well, how many interceptions did the Eagles have?
We got some good safeties too, man.
We lost our number 1 guy last year, and still we're head and shoulders above you guys last year on the second.
How many interceptions did Slay have in Bradbury?
Oh my God!
Compared to Diggs and Bland.
I mean, come on, Leo.
Come on, Leo.
That's an easy one.
In the last 3 years alone, our two cornerbacks led the league in interceptions, man. What the hell are you talking about?
That's all I'm saying. We're talking about skill position.
And
our secondary.
Come on, dog.
Man, this has turned into the beatdown Leo show.
I love it, Bart. I can handle it. Believe me, I can handle it.
All I'm saying is Bradbury is not going to be on your team, so you're going to have.
Come on.
You're going to have
Leo,
big play Slay.
Come on, man. You messed my drink on up, man. Damn.
I'll say this. I'm excited to see, what Isaiah Rodgers is going to look like. I'm excited to see what Eli Ricks and Keely Ringo is going to look like. I'm excited to see what Quinyon Mitchell is going to look like. What Cooper DeJean is going to look like. Yeah. It's going to be great to have a
lot of young pieces.
Chauncey Gardner. We're going to have Chauncey Gardner Johnson back. Later on in the year, at some point, we'll end up having Sidney Brown back, but Reed Blankenship is done some flashes. I love the fact that we brought in Devin White, and now we get to see Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean, play a full year.
Not Nakobe Dean again.
Healthy, hopefully.
Here we go.
So it's exciting time.
The great hope, the great green hope, Nakobe Dean.
Milton Williams is playing for a contract. Can't wait to see what Bryce Huff is going to look like in his defense. Jalen Carter is ready to take that next step in his conditioning. I'm really again, if we're talking about comparing defenses, you know what I'm saying?
No, I would just say corners.
I'm really excited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even when it comes to our secondary,
our secondary ended the season as a better defense. We were a top 10 defense.
Absolutely. Again, but you know what though? Here's the thing though.
But I'm just saying, when everybody says Dallas stinks, I want to know exactly where we stink. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say this. The one thing that I guess if I have to try to find a silver lining to that great cloud that was the collapse of last year is that at least we're not devoid of talent. You know what I'm saying? And at least we know, and we know that the problem was with the coaching.
Well, linebackers is a serious issue.
Well, that's why we went out and got.
I know, but Devin White is.
That's why we got Devin White, Nakobe Dean. You know what I'm saying? So
here we go with the Nakobe Dean.
Not Nakobe Dean, but we got guys.
Devin White, he wasn't welcome back in Tampa. He's not good. But again, I like the move for the Eagles because it's big upside.
Absolutely.
I'll give you that, but he hasn't proven nothing other than his rookie year.
Exactly.
And
we'll
see. Right, right. I get that.
And I'm as excited about our defensive coordinator as you guys are about Zimmer. I say as excited.
Yeah.
You know
I would say that. He's got to be better than what you had.
It's activity and change in the coaching staff that I'm excited to see. You know what I'm saying? Kellen Moore hasn't had this kind of talent all in one spot at one time.
Here we go.
You know what I'm saying? Again, let's see what he does with this. Unlike what he had in San
he's
Diego,
got more
and unlike what he had
on the offensive side of the ball,
similar
we had
to what he had in Dallas, but
it's
not as abundant.
No, he has more offensive talent on the offense now than he ever had with Dallas.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's, again.
And he didn't have any last year with the Chargers?
Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, a stud offensive line minus Jason Kelsey.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that.
Saquon Barkley.
Like,
You know
when
what I'm
I say we're better at the linebacker and the corners, that doesn't mean I'm going to say we're a better team. No, they're better on the offensive side of the ball. They just are.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know about Jalen, but again, I'm talking.
But Jalen has had better success.
Let me ask you. Hold on. Timeout.
He's had 2 playoff wins,
Timeout here.
Yeah.
A timeout. Okay, if you are conceding that the Eagles have more talent on offense, then let me ask you this: how come the Cowboys scored more points last year than them?
No, Mark, that's a fact, and you're right. But I'm
just asking because I keep seeing the Cowboys suck, but somehow we score a lot of points.
Mark, the 2024-25 Philadelphia Eagles on the offensive side are way better than the Cowboys.
I'm throwing the challenge flag here, okay?
You know what I'm saying? If we were to go skill position by skill position, we're better than you guys.
Whoa! Throw the penalty flag.
It's an offensive coordinator.
Okay. Yes. I'm challenging you. Okay, I don't know. I think that Jake Ferguson
are better than ours.
I'll say CeeDee Lamb is. CeeDee Lamb definitely is.
Is your running back?
Running back? Well, we'll see if Barkley makes it through the season.
Have you been sticking over to my crib drinking my tequila or what?
I'm just saying.
You got the better offensive line. But we definitely got the better quarterback. Even Dan Salio's got Dak at 6 and Hurts at 14, bro.
So tell me, what was it like when Dak took y'all to the Super Bowl?
Oh,
what was that like?
You know, that goes back to
what was it like when Dak took you to the NFC Championship game?
I don't know, but it sure was nice seeing him go to your ass.
And it was nice, you know what? And it was nice seeing Jalen go to y'all.
I've always enjoyed at least that much.
Mark,
I've always at least enjoyed that.
I don't have a problem with conceding that, but what I will say is if you're going to say don't give half a story,
Leo,
the first game?
hold on. Real question here for you, Leo. Hold on. Wait. Everybody, hold on for a second.
And y'all coming with these excuses about the field was wet and all this and that. Don't nobody want to hit them down. You wet. You lost.
Hold on. A real question here. No, seriously.
Don't nobody want to hear nobody no excuse. Excuses is bullshit. Don't nobody want to hear that.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, Leo. You guys only won by 5 the first game, right?
Who won?
Our offensive line melded.
Yeah, you guys did.
If our offensive line showed up, we would have won that game. Guaranteed.
What if, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
By the way, we were only a yard short of
Terrence
scoring a winning touchdown.
And how many tush pushes did you guys have?
The last time the Cowboys played the Eagles, we beat y'all down.
Exactly. You came to our house and lost by 20.
We ran y'all out the stadium.
Okay.
We ran your team out the stadium.
Please, listen, I have no problems with conceding that. I've said that multiple times now. But what I'm saying is, if you guys are going to say all that, please don't give half the story.
Okay.
Who won the first game?
Okay,
you won. Give it to you.
Yes,
that's all.
You got the victory.
You won it by only a yard.
Who got their ass kicked the second game?
Okay,
and a referee.
You guys remember the penalties that were focused on us on that first game?
It does not say W by 1 yard. It just says W. Who won?
Okay. Who was expected to be a Super Bowl contender and failed?
Ask you this question. Hold on. Who was the better? Hold on.
But the ref said it wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Leo, who was the better quarterback last year, Dak or Jalen Hurts?
Oh no, Dak was the better.
Okay, so who's going to be the better quarterback this year?
Jalen.
Because
Jalen is
he's going to regress. I'm telling you, he's going to regress.
Okay,
another new system.
Wait a minute.
I'll let him finish. Then I got something to say.
I'll say this:
Leo.
if we're going to talk about regression, you need conditions, right?
Yeah.
And which quarterback is playing in the conditions that suit best for a regression right now?
Yours, because you have a new offensive coordinator.
No, yours, because yours is still trying. Yours doesn't play for money. Remember that? Yours is just.
I hate
yours
to tell
is
you,
just
bro.
getting over some kind of a sexual assault thing going on.
Oh,
yours doesn't have the weapons that he needs. As a matter of fact, you have yet to sign your wide receiver. In fact, you guys haven't even signed Micah yet.
They don't have to. Hold on, bro. They're both under contract.
He's got 2 years left.
They're both under contract.
There's no reason.
Who has the better weapons
He's got 2 more years left on his contract. No reason to extend.
Our quarterback doesn't have the kind of weapons that my quarterback has.
Yes, and
And
he
when you-
didn't last year
Hold
either.
on.
Anything.
And Dak is still going to be better. And Dak is still going to be
Going to
better.
be better.
And that's why.
This is how you guys get set up every year for Stephen A. Smith to mess with y'all. You
I don't even watch
this is how you guys build yourselves up.
Okay,
Out
so
of
Leo,
58 years, Leo.
So hold on, Leo. So when the Cowboys play the Eagles next time and we beat y'all down, what are you gonna say then?
That's not going to happen. In fact, here's the thing. I think we're going to sweep you guys, and I think
When it does, you're gonna come on here. What you're gonna say?
I think the
I just
Commanders are
hope
going to have
Saquon
a
don't get
better
hurt.
record than you guys next year.
Oh my
Who is
God!
gonna
I
have a
think
better
we'll be
record?
first. The Commanders will be second, and you guys will be third.
Oh my God!
If things don't change right now,
breaking
if
news,
things don't change, there's
Mark.
a very real possibility that the Commanders could actually sneak one on.
Leo, stop it.
Oh, if they're going to sneak
Mark.
one on us,
Yeah.
they're definitely sneaking one on Philly.
You know what the headline is coming out of OTAs? for
Put
the
down
Eagles?
the weed.
What's his name? Pittman. Pittman's playing better.
Mark,
Hurts.
can you hear me?
Hold on. Okay. Hold on, everybody.
Hold on, let's let
We
him,
got
Brian.
some breaking news here. Game time, Brian. Let's get this
All
in.
right, I didn't know if I was muted or something. No. I caught this on the head of the sports page of the Daily News. Kenny Pickett was outplaying Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, OTAs, I heard that.
Philly's OTAs. Now, I think it's BS, but that's just not game time Brian saying it. So when we sit here and say we talk about Jalen and to think that there's not any pressure on him, there is pressure on Jalen.
No. Listen, I understand. Again, that's a Dallas Cowboy thing to go down the rabbit hole for OTA.
Well, no, I'm saying there's.
Oh my God! Are you serious? Are you serious, Leo? No, bullshit. No, I look. Challenge flag. No, we are talking about how Dak Prescott all off season, okay, training camp and everything else. There was a count of how many interceptions were thrown in practice and reported on every single network. Don't say that that's just a Dallas Cowboy thing.
Some added.
Come on, man.
I just want to say this to you because this is where you guys the disconnect comes into play. And please allow me to complete this thought before you interrupt me. The problem with you guys is that you are all for being America's team, the number one team that everyone talks about. You love it when everyone talks about all the good things that are going on, but you do not want the bad that comes with being supposedly the America's team. You don't want that part, and that's where it lies. Where they said, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and you guys are not fit for that. And
we
you
ain't wearing
haven't
the
been
crown,
for
bro.
quite some time.
Are you sure that's the fans or not the
It
ownership?
hasn't been you.
And
that's the problem. When it's not about the Dallas Cowboys, you guys flip out, which is why you always rely on regular season stats. And the question I always have to ask myself is, okay, you guys are the kings of the regular season, but how has that translated into postseason success? And it has not. Not at least not in the ninth. I asked you. I remember I said this a couple of weeks ago. In the 9 years,
but see, Leo, here's the part that here's the part that you don't understand about.
Who's had the Leo, we're a golden standard franchise in the NFL. Any franchise with 4 more Super Bowls is a golden standard franchise. Y'all are at the bottom of the barrel.
Okay,
Y'all
so
are at the bottom of the barrel.
Wait. If you're going to talk that way, take
all. At the bottom of the barrel. Period.
We do take all of it.
Wait, listen to me. Bro. If you're going to talk that way, then take all.
You got one championship in 60 years.
Wait,
your team, your franchise
that way.
Your franchise has showed how many playoff runs. How many times has your franchise choked in the playoffs? You want to talk about the Cowboys choking? How many times have the Eagles choked in the playoffs?
This shit's gone off the rails.
I'm just saying, let's tell the whole story, Leo. Let's tell the whole story. How many times have the Eagles choked in the playoffs?
Okay.
All of it, Wade. if you want that responsibility,
how many times have the Eagles choked in the playoffs?
Leo.
Someone
Okay.
tell me.
All right.
I get it. It's
Mark, I think you got it out of control.
What are the Eagles' playoff record?
Okay, Houston, we have a problem. Okay, all right, everybody, calm down for a second here. Here's the thing, though, Leo.
You choked away 3 Super Bowls.
Okay.
You choked away 3 Super Bowls.
And wait.
Okay. What?
Hell, you choked away 3 Super Bowls. You're good at doing that. Less than 500 in the Super Bowl.
Leo, you're a gagger,
You're
man.
less than 500 in the Super Bowl. You got a below 500 record in the Super Bowl.
Please.
Wait.
You're a gagger.
Wait. Whatever you need to tell yourself to feel better, we are not you. Thank God. We don't want to pick you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have an owner like Jerry Jones.
I'm just
sorry you have a
but okay. All right. Time out.
I live and breathe Dallas Cowboys. I live here in Dallas, Texas. I embrace it.
Time out for a second here, though. Here's the thing. We as Cowboy fans don't make the Dallas Cowboys all of that by ourselves. The fact that everybody else wants to be like them and are jealous of them are part of the reason why. Because and don't say you have to take all bro. You know how much shit I take from people. I get emails from 49er fans, from Eagle fans. I get some of the vilest shit talked about with me. I got people out there making channels that say, can he be buried next door out there and how stupid I am and stuff. Don't say I don't take all the shit that comes with the Dallas Cowboys and being there. I didn't ask to be America's team, but the fact that everybody is constantly there watching. I'm not there watching San Francisco's 49er content. I could care less. I do watch Stan Staleo because I'm on his show. I do watch Philly 500 from time to time because he's my friend. But I'm not caring about all these other teams the way everybody else cares about the Cowboys. So you guys are as much to blame in making the Cowboys much watch TV. If nobody would watch anything about the Cowboys and the content, they wouldn't be talking about it. But they recognize here's where we can make hay is talking about the Cowboys. Don't look at me. I'm not the one that made that.
But
I'm just rolling with it.
Like the way you talk about the way people talk about the Dallas Cowboys, that's how you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. I hope you realize that.
Okay.
And every one of your examples, you do not have. There isn't very many of your live clips where you don't say something about or in comparison to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Of course, because
especially when it comes
we're a roadblock for the Eagles, and the Eagles are a roadblock for the Cowboys. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You got to know that.
Now here's the thing. Everything you just said about the shit that you take and the things that people say to you and everything like that, we literally just demonstrated that not even 2 minutes ago with everybody here on this page and the things that they were just saying to me. So in that regard,
but it wasn't personal. It was about your team.
Again, that's what I said.
Okay,
I get shit.
No, it is personal when it comes back at me. Believe me, Brian, you know how the shit literally gets personal when you get people who are doxing my, parents and shit like that. I mean,
Leo's, it's very interesting to me, and I'm not exactly sure. I have an idea of how old you are, Leo, but
49.
Okay, so
you're a baby,
you would understand then exactly. It really does remind me of the 90s. And Leo, I don't know if you'll agree or not, but again, we were still the Cowboys, right? And we were winning back then, right? We were winning. We were finishing
we were the team of the 90s. We were the team of the decade.
Yeah, I know. Let me finish.
Yeah, you guys won every you guys won the Super Bowl every
No, what I'm saying is I was at the games. I'm sure Leo goes to the games too, back at the vet.
Yep.
We actually... Yeah, the start of the 90s was rough, 89 into 90 into 91 was rough. That was the 11th sack game in Dallas. I was at that game too.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had some success, but the Eagles back then hadn't had the success. So it's almost like it's a role reversal because the Eagles back then, and Leo may like a test. Their sole joy. Yes, did they want to make the playoffs and go to a Super Bowl? Of course they did. But their main joy in the back of their mind was, well, we probably won't do that, but we can beat the hell out of Dallas.
Yep.
And their Super Bowl was beating the Cowboys.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a role reverse where now the Eagles have had, again, they've won a Super Bowl. They've been to 2. Okay, I'm not here to shit on, oh my God, you don't have 5. I'm not going to go there. That's not fair. But they've had more recent success. Now we're getting excited over beating the Eagles 33-9 last year.
Yeah, that was your Super Bowl.
Well, it wasn't my Super Bowl, but I know what you're saying.
And what was your Super Bowl last year?
It's like a role reversal in my mind. That now we're the Eagles of the 90s. We can beat up on some teams, make them look like bitches, but we can't do nothing in the postseason.
Well, you know, and game time. Don't forget. Remember the things that we were recovering from. Jerome Brown got killed. You know what I'm saying? Randall broke his leg. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of things were happening. You know, like someone brought up Ray Rhodes, Rich Kotite. All that we were recovering from. All that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Buddy, and the body bag game and not shaking hands and all that stuff. You know, all these things were happening during those time frames too. So they were saying things like snake bitten. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as though, you know what I'm saying, we don't have it's not as though there isn't a history of being in that position. You see what I'm saying? But to your point, when you're talking about recent success, this is the problem that you guys have because you're much more hypersensitive when it's not happening to you. And when they're using words, when they're talking phrases like snake bitten and Dallas Cowboys in the same sentence, that's a problem for you guys. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? But
listen, Leo, don't feel sorry for me, bro.
Yes.
Don't feel sorry for me. I love it.
I didn't say I feel sorry for you. I said I get it.
No, before you were saying you feel sorry for us.
And, you know, go ahead, Mark. But, like, we still have that optimism. Why? Because we have a talented football team. See, that's the missing. That's what a lot of people fail to
I don't
acknowledge.
think you guys are devoid of talent at all.
We have a talented
Then why do you
team.
think we're just going to be down in the toilet? That's the thing that
because you're not as talented as the Philadelphia Eagles.
We have a problem mentally when it comes to the playoffs. It's not even McCarthy's fault. You have the players coming in going, hey, listen, that record, you know, I haven't been here but 2 years. All this failure since 95 is not on me, but I don't know what it is, but there's something going on where it's a mental thing. And once they break the barrier and win a couple playoff games, then they may actually win the damn Super Bowl that year. You know what I mean? But they got to get there, and they haven't. So we can't. Us Cowboy fans, we can defend our team all we want and say, yo, no, we're going to check you here, we're going to check you there. But at the end of the day, we need to do it, right? We need to
and we do. Again, the regular season wins, does it translate into, how has that translated into postseason success?
Well, you know what, Leo? Hey, Leo.
I don't look at NFL franchises like, oh, what they've done recently. I look at NFL franchises' body of work since Super Bowl era, since the Super Bowl began. I look at body of work. If I was a Dallas
Cowboy, that's the same way I would look at it too. Because I
look at every franchise like that. Period. The Steelers have been a very successful franchise. The Green Bay Packers. I look at every franchise that same way. Through the decades, what they've done.
And that's probably part of the problem right there because of the way.
And you know, I mean, the Cowboys are going through a little rough spell, but the 60s they were good, the 70s they were good, up into the mid 80s, the 90s they were good, and they've had a little dry spell lately.
Walker, I'll tell you how good we were.
They've had a dry spell, but here's the thing: there's been some franchises, the Eagles are one of them, that had 50 years of a dry spell, 50 years.
Well, let me tell you.
I'm glad to at least have some Super Bowl success, and the Cowboys got championships that they can look back on.
Okay.
All you got is 2017. All you got is 2017.
The Eagles were started in 1933. Okay.
Don't just forget about the Cowboys. Oh, they won in the 90s. Well, you seen them win, didn't you, Leo?
Yes, I did. You
saw them win 3 and 4 years, didn't you? Something your franchise will never do.
Yeah, well, Walker, I'm 49. I'll be 50 in February. And the last
I'll tell you what, call me when the Eagles go to 4 straight conference titles and 3 Super Bowls.
Yes. The last time the Dallas Cowboys had any kind of real postseason success was before I became a legal adult.
Well,
and
guess what, though?
All I'm saying is call me when the Eagles go to 4 straight conference titles and win 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Call me when that happens.
Hey, bro.
Okay.
And Leo, on the flip side of that, Leo, on the flip side of that, I can say that I was 50 years old.
You saw it live action on your TV, Leo.
Hey, Leo, I can say that I was 50 years old before I finally saw any success ever for the Eagles. 50 years
well,
of
that's
life.
what I was getting to, Mark. I just looked
So,
up the numbers.
Eagles
were established in 1933. Eagles have had 92 seasons under their belt. Their career wins are 624. Their career losses are 636.
Okay, thank you.
They have playoffs. They have 25 playoff wins in their history. They have 26 playoff losses.
They're a 500 franchise.
We weren't started for nearly 30 years later. 1960, the Cowboys started. Cowboys have a 562 wins to 413 losses. They have 36 playoff wins to 31 losses. So it's just we have almost 30 years less time to do it. And in a bigger league, right? Because when the Eagles started, Mark,
10 teams.
You were alive. How many?
Thank you. 10 teams.
There was 10 teams. So, you know, right now, and I'm not trying to be a troll, but I think now is the golden era for the Eagles right now. I would say, and I'm only bringing up the numbers, not to say, oh, yeah. No, I'm just laying it out. I didn't realize the Eagles had been around that long.
Yeah, they actually merged with the Steelers at one point. Around World War II.
This is their golden era. And yet they've only gotten one.
Look, see, I'm on it.
I know.
So, no.
Say hi.
Hello.
Look, they all see you.
Like,
this is Langston, everybody.
They're like, Dad, why are you yelling and so mad?
I like their colors, Dad. Can I be a fan?
No, I let them use my phone.
Your ass down, man.
But anyway, I was just surprised when I saw those numbers.
Everybody.
Hey.
So anyway, that was it. I was shocked that they have almost 30 years on us. So I was like, wow. But
You're welcome.
What it is.
Well, they have those 3 world championships, too.
Oh, they do. With Tommy McDonald, yeah.
Even though the Lions had 6 and the
Concrete
Cleveland
Jar.
Browns had like 9.
That was actually cool when we went to the Hall of Fame, Mark, and we got to see Bednarik's bust, and we were talking to the guy who actually sculpted the his bust. It was cool.
So look, guys,
getting off the
in
rails,
terms of the 2024 2025 season, you know, I feel as though I'm going in with a lot more optimism and realistic, you know, on realistic success than I think the Dallas Cowboys are. You guys have so many more things that you guys got to navigate before you can even begin to get to where I am right now. And that's just the way it is. Regardless of
Eagles got a rougher path than us, I think, this year.
You know, regardless of how many championships you guys have, who your all the stuff that you guys are saying or naming and everything like that, you know, our optimism about the way that we're going into this season, considering what happened to us last year, is way higher than you guys. And we don't have the same kind
there's
of
perception and then there's reality. Because going into the last 3 years, you can't look and say after 2020, no, just listen to me for a second. After 2020, after the discombobulated, you know, what was the coordinator we had? Mike Nolan? As bad as that defense was, they gave up more points than any team in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? Mike McCarthy looked like the village idiot and thought he was going to be one and done and fired. Dak Prescott had his ankle literally broken completely off, severed. You did not look and have any hope the next year, and the Cowboys won 12 games. After that year, we did nothing in free agency again, and everybody said the Cowboys don't care about football. They're not going to win. and they still win 12 games. And then the same wash, rinse, repeat cycle happens again. So why do we now all of a sudden think we're just going to go now and drop like 6 or 7 games and have, the Commanders end up being higher than we are?
Well,
this is the same thing every year, bro.
This is one thing I'll tell everybody. I think people are getting way carried away with the demise of the Cowboys. I just don't think it's. I understand what Leo's saying. We have a lot of question marks. We did this to ourselves. This wasn't something that happened. We chose this situation, whether I like it or not. But Vegas is not buying in on any of this. But Vegas has got the Ravens as the best odds right now at 11.5 wins, tied with the Niners and the Chiefs. You know who's right after that?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys and Eagles and the Lions. Those three are tied with all 10.5. Now, I'm not saying that we're winning the division, but we ain't going to be bad. That's the thing. People are getting way carried away. We're not going to be bad. We're going to be in the mix, and that's fine. I don't want all the headlines. Leo, I'll just speak for myself. I don't want to be talked about. Amen. I want all the negative. I want people to doubt because we do better, it seems, when we're not put up on a pedestal, because as soon as that happens, and the point of a season where we rattle off 4 or 5 games, what's the pundits say? Oh, they're going to the Super Bowl. Is this a Super Bowl team? And then before you know it, shit happens. It's inevitable, but I want to stay under the radar. 10.5 wins, I'm happy with that. That's good. That tells me we're going to be right around there. Barring major injury, we're going to be anywhere from 9 to 12 wins. And then, unfortunately, Dallas fans, we ain't going to have anything to look forward to until the playoffs. That's just how it's going to be.
I'm pegging us to be somewhere between 12-5 or 13-4.
So you would take the over there.
I'm leaning more towards 13-4. I just don't like the idea of our bye week being so early. But then I had to look at it again, and we got that little mini bye like in week 11, week 12, I think, or what have you. So I'm okay with it. And then when you look at, strength of schedule, it's not a gauntlet like it was last year. You know what I'm saying? And we're not actually playing any teams that are coming off of a bye this year, which is different than last year as well. Because we played like 4 or 5 teams who were coming off of byes, you know what I'm saying, like 4 or 5 in a row, I think, last year. And that's not the case this year. So I'm pretty, I'm confident with saying 12-5, 13-4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I missed you guys.
I'm gonna see you in the hospital. We gonna get a high. Yes, sir.
Mark, I can't win.
We're gonna get high.
It's okay. I'm
gonna see you in the hospital. We gonna get a high. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now here's the $1 million question.
Okay.
Mark, are you coming up at all for the game?
Well, here's the thing.
I got you at 11.
I hate to say that Philly 500 is a scared ass punk bitch, and he won't be coming up because it'll be close to New Year's, and he'll say his wife, I got kids and family and all that. So here's what it looks like I'm doing.
I thought he lives in California.
He does. So here's what I'm actually, because November 10th, okay, Dan Salio had proposed that he would meet me in Dallas for a game against the Eagles. So
I asked you that too.
What? When did you ask me that?
Yeah, like if not coming to Philly
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
let's go to. How about we go to Dallas?
That's what I'm looking at doing. Now I don't know if because Philly's that's halfway to Philly's 500. I don't know if he'll show up or not.
That's true.
But looking and circling on the calendar
last year.
Looking and circling, that will be the one we go to in Dallas. And yes, I will be giving Jerry Jones some more money, but I think that would be really kind of cool to mix it up with Dan Salio there. And if we can get Philly 500 there, he doesn't have the excuse of, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. Who cares about Christmas? It's football.
I'm going to try to save some money for the Raiders Cowboys game in 2025 down in Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, you need a whole lot of money for that one.
Wow.
So,
Well,
Leo,
actually, the tickets aren't too bad.
Bart, I'd be more than happy to meet you guys in Dallas for that game as well.
Well, I think I'm going to try and talk to a ticket broker and see if we can get seats together. You know,
let me know.
Or then
I'm
again,
down.
Dan might be able to hook us up with a suite for all I know.
Hey, if that's the case, I'm down. Let me know what to do, and I'm with it. And I'm looking. The other game I'm looking for too is the Week 13 game against the Ravens.
Let me know what's up on the suite thing. I can get my cousin a phone call, man.
Well, see, I look at it like this: that this would be if we were in Dallas and broadcasting the game, Dan Salio, Philly 500, and Mark Holmes. As this game goes on, that shit would be big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would.
Yep.
But you would need a suite to do that comfortably.
No, but a suite would be comfortably.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I'm just saying. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've been to 2 games at AT&T Stadium.
The Wi-Fi sucks there.
And the crazy part is
Wi-Fi
that
sucks.
there honestly isn't a bad seat in that stadium.
Yeah, but the Wi-Fi sucks.
No, there's not.
Yeah, it's amazing. You don't. And the other thing too is that there, like, when I say it's not a bad seat, is because you don't necessarily you don't even need that jumbotron in order for you to see or be a good enjoy the game. There's something about the way that stadium is designed. There really isn't a bad seat in the house.
What the fuck is wrong with you Eagle fans? How am I scared of Dan Salio when I'm talking about going together to watch a game? Are you stupid? Why are some of your Eagle fans just stupid? Seriously.
Okay, well, first off, you know what I'm saying? You know how you always say whenever something comes up, like, you know how I know you don't like it when, you know, Eagles fans are saying Micah wants to be an Eagles and we want Micah and all that stuff, right?
Here's the thing. Me being scared of Dan Salio.
No. Listen, it's we know that we're not going to get Micah. He's, you know, I don't believe that, you know, even in all of his craziness, I just can't see Jerry Jones allowing Micah Parsons to walk out the door. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: the thought of it and even talking about it gets a rise out of you guys, and that's what they're after. They just want to get a rise out of you. You know what I'm saying? Just poking you. You know what I'm saying?
Poking
Anything to get you upset and make you mad. But you do have to stop and think about it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take it on its surface and look deeper into it, it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, you know, the whole thing about the OTAs and Kenny Pickett. It's OTAs.
Yeah.
No, it's not, like, who cares? I mean, we know better.
Although,
you know, everyone knows better than to listen to OTAs and all that stuff. And you know what? When it comes, like, to your question about training camp last year, when everyone was the Dak Prescott interception counter and everything like that, I do believe that some of that heat that you guys got, or that attention, that was actually self-inflicted, because there was also videos of your defense talking shit to your own offense.
Actually,
you know what I'm saying?
No, but see, that was actually no,
we ain't
bro.
taking shit from all 32 teams.
No,
bro. I was saying stuff like that.
See, here's the thing: it's kind of like with statistics where you can prove anything, right?
Yeah.
That whole thing where they said that Dak Prescott got cussed out by his D-back. If you actually watched everything that happened, Dak Prescott ended up tucking and running and getting into the end zone and basically threw the football down in front of his D-back. And he just said, shut. And he, after getting embarrassed, he said, man, shut your bitch ass up. Because he ended up kicking his ass. And that is Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott, he's going to be in your face talking shit, man. And you know how it is when you're out on the practice field. Offense versus defense. Come on, man. That team... You know, maybe Cowboy fans out there don't believe in Dak Prescott. That team loves Dak Prescott. Those players in that huddle love Dak Prescott, and they respect him.
Mark, iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
If that's the level of shit talking that is happening during training camp, you want that.
I do.
You really want that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
Like what DJ Moore said to Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? Bad practices make you a better person, make you a better player. So you
I
sort of
agree.
how else you going
But
to learn?
see, here's the thing: is the media took that in. Oh, Dak Prescott, he's disrespected by his teammates. He's called a bitch ass quarterback, and it's like, bro, do you guys actually know what you're talking about? Because sometimes I wonder. Well, actually, I'm going to point this out. J Tuck, everybody knows J Tuck. J Tuck is fantastic. J Tuck has become a lightning rod from 105 The Fan because you have old traditional media and you have new media. Old media, sorry. You see guys like Ed Warder losing their job. You're seeing Michael Irvin not being renewed. You're seeing NFL Network canceling shows. Everything is going to social media. So it's now changing and evolving. And what Jay Tuck posted in Twitter yesterday, which is exactly 100% right, he said the difference of social media guys and content creators are they get you down to a whole nother level, whereas ESPN only scratches the surface. And I'm sitting here today reading an article where Jeremy Fowler is talking about the Dallas Cowboys and why they haven't extended Dak Prescott yet. And he's talking about Dak Prescott having a $61 million cap hit. And I kept remembering my mind. I keep hearing this on ESPN. It's like, you guys are ESPN. Dak Prescott's cap number was never 61 million. It was 59, and then they got 4 million of cap relief, so it's actually 55. So if you're the expert who's trying to tell people what's going on and you don't even know what the actual cap number is, how are you supposed to
That's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what,
you know
Mark?
what I'm saying? So when you hear these things, on news, you don't know what's really real or how it's perceived. In the same way we saw Diggs getting beat one-on-one in practice. Oh, my God, Diggs got beat one-on-one by a guy who doesn't even make the team. It's like it's a one-on-one drill, in training camp. It means nothing when the season gets here necessarily.
Again, you guys aren't you guys installing?
It's only a drill.
Yeah,
it's only a drill, man.
Right. Thomas,
it's
you know
practice.
What? You guys are installing a whole new defense. You guys are installing. You guys are your offense is evolving.
Actually, here's the thing that you got to look at with our offense. It's amazing that the Dallas Cowboys offense was shit the first 5 weeks of the season until they started getting the gist of this Texas Coast offense. They're in year 2 of that. Brandon Cooks came on the second half of the season. Everybody kept saying, why'd you get Brandon Cooks? You watch Brandon Cooks is going to be big this year. The extra time that Dak Prescott has had working with him, he is going to be a major piece, a lot bigger than people will give credit for. And we keep hearing, though, the Cowboys might release Brandon Cooks, to save some cap money. It's like, how stupid are you guys? Next week we get another $9.5 million. We'll have more cap money than we've had all offseason. Why will we get rid of one of the few weapons we have? I'm like, where do you guys get this shit?
Well, that was but you know what, though, Mark? That was the thing when it came to James Bradbury. If you take a look at what James Bradbury's dead money hit would look like prior to June 1st to what it looks like afterwards, you know what I'm saying? It was more advantageous. It's probably more advantageous to keep him afterwards. And I always say this, this is what I appreciate about the way you look at things is because when you take it, you're always telling folks, take a look at the cap numbers. It actually helps to explain why a team may move in a way that they move. You see what I'm saying? And, and that's the case when it comes to James Bradbury. Now, if he becomes a June 1st, post-June 1st cut, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's fine, because when you look at the dead money hit that we'll take versus what it would have been beforehand, you know what I'm saying? That too, and on top of that, if they cut him, it's because we can. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing,
who's to say that we may not even end up trading him because we can.
Right.
We have. Again, when it comes to the DBs, we are not devoid of talent at all.
But here's the thing, though, about people from ESPN, people, social media guys. What we are is we're like a weather reporter. We don't really know what's going to happen. Okay,
No,
everything
you're not, Mark.
is speculation, and so it's a matter of how. I'm not, and believe me, I'm saying I'm putting this out there. You are trying to predict what is unpredictable without being on the inside and knowing what the plan is. So when everybody keeps going through and they're saying, "Well, the Cowboys, that they put it out there that they don't want Dak Prescott," well, how do we know that the Cowboys aren't looking at this and saying, "Listen, we've done better with our linebacking core. We believe in Overshown coming back, that he's going to help us right there." Okay, we end up getting rid of Michael Gallup. We're going to get $9.5 million plus the 3.8 that we have now. That gives us 14. We go out. We got three fifth-round compensatory picks in a sixth round. That come June 1st, we got $14.5 million. And the way we sign veterans, hell, we can sign 4 or 5 of those and still have $8-9 million of cap space left. That maybe the thing to do is, let's take that $55 million hit right now for Dak Prescott. Then come next year, we've got $40 million in dead money. If we start that contract next year, we might be able to make his dead money hit what the actual cap number is going to be and buy us some time and not try to manipulate $90 million on top of a max contract. In which case, they're in better shape. Right. I mean, that I don't know. I mean, and maybe the Cowboys are saying, you know what, we're going to move on from Dak. That may be the case, but it may also be the case that we're looking and saying it's better to go ahead and pay this shit off now.
Well, here's
you know
the
what
thing,
I'm saying?
Mark, and I will say this because I tend to take a more of a macro level look at things, and what I will say is that when you take into account the way you see things are happening within media, period.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say media. You know what I'm saying? NFL Network, ESPN, all these networks. What content creators such as you and Dan Sleo, Philly 500, and Laura Brunson, all you guys, what you actually represent is the next evolution to which sports fans actually get their actual information from,
because it's a two-way conduit.
Yes, you guys, and there's so much more interaction with the actual fans than there is when it comes to dealing with traditional media. You know what I'm saying? And this is where, and it's this level of engagement. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when the Cowboys lost last year and the year before, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really. I immediately went to your page. You know what I'm saying? I immediately went to, a few others just to see what was going to happen, just to laugh the whole 9 yards. If you take a look at Mark, people such as myself still go to your old videos, your old content, and just to get the laugh. I know you have been keeping an eye on those videos that show you, oh, Dad, no, and you fall into the ground and everything like that. Because if you notice, if you take look at the number, the watch, how many times people have actually viewed it, it's still going. It's still going. I understand that you fell on the wrong side of it all, but it's like the same thing with Copizzle. You know what I'm saying? When the Eagles jumped and we snatched up, when we traded with you guys,
Devontae,
and we got Devontae, you know what I'm saying? That video still, if you look at the views on that video, it's still climbing. And that was like, what, 4 years ago? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It shows you how people are actually watching and actually consuming this content. And you guys represent that next evolution.
Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker!
That one too.
I don't have to say that exactly.
That one too. Yeah, that one
Settle
too.
down just a little bit.
Yeah, that one too. But it's the next evolution. That's all.
Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's an ass.
Trenches taking grenades, John.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying there, Leo. And it's nothing but love here back and forth and stuff. And the thing is if you are on YouTube and you can't laugh at yourself, then you don't need to be on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, that's true too.
And
that is true too. I agree with that.
I literally put myself out here. Everybody sees me. They know who I am. You can recognize me and troll me and everything else. The assholes that are nameless as trolls that are sitting in their mama's basement or are afraid to actually do the same thing, well, I can't help them. Can't help them. As my man Denzel says, those who can do, those who can't talk about those who can't. So can you or can you not? And stop hiding from Big Sil. Let me clarify this, and I know that a lot of you Eagle trolls wouldn't understand trying to help your fellow man out. But I was up in Vermont actually helping people who were flooded out last year, rebuilding houses.
Yeah, thank you for your service on that too, Mark.
That's Mark Holmes is high. He's scared of Big Sil. You're freaking stupid people. It's the off season, okay? And I had the opportunity to go through and help a family. The first family we got to help, she's been out of her house for 6 months. She's got Lyme disease and a respiratory illness because her house was full of mold. And we ended up doing twice the amount of work on the place, and she is now today back in that house. The other family, their basement was flooded out. It was their home office, and they had the mold remediation done, but we were able to get almost all of the basement office put back together, new flooring, drywall, and everything else. So if that's hiding from Big Sil, you know what? Go pound sand, bro, okay? Then I was hiding from Big Sil, helping somebody else out in plain sight. Anyway.
Yeah, well, Philly 500, and they were joking on you that you were hiding. And that's the one I didn't like about it, man. I know it's all fun and games, Philly 500, but you should have had your boys back and said, no, he's doing some good stuff. But everything's an effing joke anymore. Some things aren't funny, man. Some things aren't funny. Let the man go do what he's got to do while you're sitting in there, eating your, you know what I mean? It just pissed me off because they were, where's he at again? And I'm like,
see, this is the kind of stuff I love. Mark has no life, makes 5 videos every damn day, biggest homer of all time. And if I am a big loser with no life, you're watching me. So what does that make you?
Bang.
Wow.
No thinking, dude.
We all listen. At the end of the day, we all sit there, talk our shit. We got Eagles, we got Cowboys. At the end, some people are going to be you just can't talk any kind of sense to. Listen, man. For the most part, we're good people.
Well, so, you know what? You know what?
Let's just get over each other and calm down.
You know what? Game time. Listen.
Shout out to Twist.
I have never. I know when to make that distinction. You know what I'm saying?
Some people don't, dude. You should see some of the emails.
No, I totally get it.
them.
I totally get it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Truth be told, I do think that was an opportunity missed on Philly 500's part. And again, this is a fellow Eagles fan. Talking to another fellow. What I
had to have said was, "Yo, man."
I think Philly missed the opportunity to, first of all.
Because why I say that, Leo, is because there's an actual person watching there, who has no clue, and said, "Oh, geez, yeah," and then he comes here and Mark Holmes is afraid. No, just said it right. There's plenty of time to bury Mark Holmes in face to face because we give him, because us, the Dallas fans, we give people a lot of ammunition. So anyway,
finish
your thought.
I get buried by Cowboy fans.
It doesn't. Look, man. I'm a founding member of VFW Post 121
nice.
You know what I'm saying? I'm actually the attorney general. Okay. And I go out every Christmas.
Client, he's a player
and I go out and I feed the homeless.
Player.
You know what I'm saying? In honor of my mom. You know what I'm saying? I've done I've done a lot of advocacy work in terms of, when it comes, it's not just the business for me, but there's also the advocacy work. This past weekend, Mark, we made history here in the state of New Jersey. I love it, Mark. I love it. Other than the Cowboys sign,
that's from I Love Weed, man. It was a gift from him.
By the way, Leo, from me to you, from one serve to another.
Yeah, shout out because it's
my honor. Happy
Memorial Weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. You are allowed to enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things I've been dealing with, particularly this particular week,
by the way, Chris,
because I've been getting a lot of phone calls from some of my old battle buddies who are struggling with things, and this is the time of year where we start thinking about those that we lost. Particularly in my unit, we were hit pretty hard.
I was going to ask you because Leo, you didn't seem like your usual self when you came in here. You looked like you were ready to go to war tonight. And that's why I was like, I was trying to get in there, but then Walker Wade jumped down. And I was like, is everything okay?
Yeah, no, everything's good, bro. I'm good. Believe me, I'm good. I'm just, I said I wanted all the smoke, and I was prepared for all this smoke. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not going to let you say all this stuff about me, and then I'm not going to say it back. Like, hell no, I'm not built that way.
All right, so when the Eagles don't win the division this year and look like trash, and Kellen Moore is who we thought he was, you going to come back and say, Mark, you were right about Kellen Moore?
So unlike Dallas Cowboys fans,
well, you can't put a blanket statement out there like that.
I have absolutely no problems with accountability issues and integrity, and I will present myself in this forum for that.
Okay, somebody is like underwater or something.
Yeah, I know. I heard it too.
We got like
it's
feedback.
Thomas Garrett. I don't know what he's doing down there.
Did he pour the tequila or the gin on the mic or something?
Yeah, you got some crazy background going on, Thomas. Mute your thing while you're not talking.
To pull your drawers up, bro.
Man, screw you, man.
You got some kind of feedback. Thomas, you got some kind of feedback going through your microphone. That's the problem.
The feedback. It's just
No, I don't. I was watching the Super Bowl games on the NFL Network. I just turned my volume down on my TV.
Okay.
And you know what? It just stopped.
Yeah, so that was
it was him. Yeah.
Hey, I give the Eagles a hard time, but I will say, the NFC East, it is the greatest division in the NFL, period, in history.
I believe it all.
It just is. It's hard to be in the NFC East. It's always a battle.
We haven't had a repeat winner since we did it in the early.
It's time.
Yep.
It's time.
And we're the only division that's got every team got a Super Bowl. Period.
Yeah,
that's true too. Yeah, that's true too. So again, I Mark, I will present myself. You know what I'm saying? Should things go awry in the manner in which you just described, you know what I'm saying? Now, there's the other side to that coin.
I'm always here, bro.
What happens if things go the way I predict that they will go?
And I've said before,
year, I put a bag
bitch.
over my head for my reaction video to the Green Bay game. I instantly came out and said, we choked. I know where I'll be. I don't know. Mark?
I'm going to...
That's Thomas's. That's
it's
Thomas.
His draws. He's got his
Thomas. I muted you, man, because I don't know what's
hammer
going on there.
In the breeze.
I feel like I've got like a fish that's trying to swim in my ear or something or other, man.
God damn, what's he doing?
Yeah,
I muted mine a few times just to see what it was.
I don't know what that is, bro.
Yeah, it was Thomas.
It's him because he's lit up. He's lighting up.
Going on. I don't think he realizes it. You know what I'm saying? But
because of the liquor he's had. Oh man, no, but it's all good.
Now here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I am predicting that we're going to sweep you guys this year, and I'm also predicting.
Hell no.
And I'm also predicting. He just did it again.
Thomas is back. Okay, Thomas.
You hear it, right?
Yeah.
Thomas, it's you, bro. Something's going on. Something's going on with your mic,
man. Don't throw it in the swimming pool again.
So I'm predicting that the Philadelphia Eagles will sweep the Cowboys this year, and I think the Commanders are going to have a better year than you guys. That's what I'm thinking. And and the only reason why I came to those conclusions is, one, I do think that we have the more talented roster than you guys do. And two, I do think that based off of activity that I've seen with the Commanders, I think that's why they're going to have a better
I'm gonna see
season.
you in the hospital. We gonna get a high. Yes, sir.
Really, Mark? Really? That's
bro.
what he's doing?
Okay, how many Super Bowls has there been?
When was the last
Super
time
Bowl
you
are we on?
swept the Cowboys?
60.
Wait a minute, say that one more time, Mark.
Seriously, when was the last time the Eagles swept the Dallas Cowboys?
How many times have the Eagles beat the
When
Dallas
was the
Cowboys?
last time the Eagles swept the Cowboys?
Oh, wow. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't even begin to. I won't even sit here and try to make it. I don't know.
So,
I don't know.
Even though you've been a Super Bowl winning team, even though you've gone to another Super Bowl, you weren't sweeping the Cowboys. But this year, magically, you think you're going to sweep them. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just asking for a friend.
Yeah. I think, considering what's happening between your front office and your quarterback, the inactivity was.
Wait a minute, hold on. What's happening? Dak Prescott had his fundraiser. You know who was there, right? Dak's agent, CeeDee Lamb, and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones made a big donation to it, too.
Philadelphia Eagles have not swept the Dallas Cowboys since 2011.
There you go.
We swept them. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm getting to that. Dallas Cowboys have swept the Eagles 3 times since then. 2012, 2018, and 2021.
Yep.
You're behind, bro.
So you're due.
Okay.
You're due for a sweep.
Yeah, we're due.
Sweep. I hope it don't happen, but
yeah, we're about doing.
Damn, look at Chase Utley's great. Fuck.
Yeah.
And you know what though? Look at the way the Giants and the freaking I hate not calling them the Redskins because
yeah,
but anyway,
ridiculous.
I keep doing the same thing.
They've been playing tough against you guys too lately.
Oh,
actually, Washington probably should have swept the Eagles. They just made some dumbass fourth. I was with Mark.
We historically we
overtime.
We split with Washington.
Ron Rivera was afraid of his own shadow last year.
It's hard to beat a team in the division.
I do not like Washington for those very reasons because it doesn't matter how bad they are.
Right.
They still pull one against us all the time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's why I think it's going to be a tight race in the division this year.
Exactly. Look, I'm not taking anybody for granted. You know what I'm saying? Nobody.
But you're going to sweep the Cowboys.
I do think we're going to sweep the Cowboys. That I do think.
Okay.
I
got my pistachios ready. All right, good people. I've got to go do my keto steak for dinner.
Oh.
I enjoy that keto steak, man.
I'm going to do a nice steak bowl for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Nice medium rare steak.
Again, Mark, thank you for your service up there in Vermont. You know what I'm saying? I just want to finish. The one thing I will say is that I do believe that was a missed opportunity on Philly 500's part to big up and go beyond the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry and to look at what it means to help your fellow neighbor, especially when one of your friends is doing something that you yourself won't do. See, that's the problem that I have. You have people who are making comments, who are talking about you, and you're out doing the things that they themselves won't do.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sick as a dog, too.
and got the nerve to get sick. But, you know what I'm saying? I do not see Philly 500 or Dan Salio swinging a hammer helping out a total stranger. You know what I'm saying? I do not see, and no one is saying thank you for what you do. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's the problem, especially when someone such as myself is accustomed to doing the exact same thing when it comes to helping strangers, because I also have the same a track record of doing that as well.
Well, we'll end on this, but here's the thing: I don't do it because I'm looking for the thank you or the attaboy or anything like that. I do it because if I were in the same position, I wish somebody would be out there to look out for me as well. And I was always taught that if everybody helped just one person, then there would be nobody in the world that would need to be helped.
Amen to that.
There you go. Yep.
And right now, you see these tornadoes that are ripping through the country and stuff. It's going to be another active year with hurricanes. There's going to be a lot of us that are going to need some help because we're going to get knocked down. And we used to be a country that used to help pick each other up.
I'm gonna tell you, man. It's gonna be a couple more tornadoes happening within the next 48 hours.
Yeah, they're moving across the country.
Yep. Well, hey, again, thank you again for your service, Mark. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you going up there and representing in the way that you did. You know what I'm saying? Good on you. And thank your wife as well, because you didn't go up there by yourself. Mm-hmm. The missus went up there with you. She took that ride. She did some work. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff too. So thank you both for your service. Yeah. I appreciate you.
All right,
if no one else has
here
said,
as we get out of here, good people. Leo says we're getting swept, and the Commanders are going to finish higher than us.
Yes.
And
okay, so if Eagles are sweeping us, I say Washington's sweeping Philadelphia.
Hey, the NFC East has 23 Super Bowl appearances. Let's see if we can make it 24 this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hoisting that Lombardi trophy.
We have the most
watching us
appearances in its Super Bowl.
You guys are gonna. It's going to be a terrible year for you guys watching us win the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Eagles when they lose another Super Bowl again.
The one that you won't be in.
The one that we'll be in. That's right. The one we'll be in.
Mark, isn't this the year that? Isn't this year 30 for you guys? Wouldn't this be year 30?
No, year 30 is 95. Well, it'd be in 2025.
So next year will be year 30.
Moving right along.
This year?
Moving right along.
It's this year, right?
What?
Yes, it's 30 years.
Year 30, right?
We won.
Yep, the year we went, it goes
95.
back the other way.
So.
95, yeah. This is 29 years since our
Thomas,
Super Bowl.
you're killing me, man. You sound like
Thomas, man. Yeah, your microphone
you're like,
is.
I remember I used to have like the Radio Shack radio kits and shit like that. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like electricity. Yeah.
He's got stem on.
Since you said
he sounds. Is he on the moon?
If that happened, expect. Listen now, expect for Dracula and Mike McCarthy to get fired. Expect both coaches to get fired. If you're gonna be bold enough to say that your team ain't gonna make the playoffs and our team won't make the playoffs, expect both of our coaches to be fired.
I didn't say you guys won't make the playoffs. That's not what I said. I never said anything like that.
He thinks the Eagles are gonna win the division for sure.
Absolutely, yes.
And go to the Super Bowl.
I think we're gonna be the number 1 seed.
Oh my! It gets worse.
Hi, yes, sir.
I will say this. I understand, considering where I am right now. This is a Dallas Cowboys safe space, and what it must be like to hear someone such as myself say the things that I'm saying in this safe space and who I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? But
like a broken record every time. We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
You know how Mark is, so faithful, to Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. That's how I feel about my beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. I'm the same way, but the difference.
There's one thing Dak Prescott is good at. That's beating the Eagles.
And the difference is that what I will not try to do is I will not try to sell you guys on it. I can only tell you what variables I am using to make the assertions that I am making, but I am not trying to sell you guys on it. I know that no matter what I say, most of the time you guys are listening to respond rather than listening to understand. I think Game Time is one of the few who actually listens to understand rather than just to respond. So I get that, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I say the things that I say, the way I'm saying it.
And it's not the weed.
Appreciate that.
And it's not the weed. Okay.
Not now. It's not.
No, it's not the weed.
I'm
No,
good
no,
right now.
no, it's not the weed.
Sorry.
All right.
It's not the weed. Yeah.
All right.
It's not
Well,
the
good
weed.
people, we're going to get up out of here. We'll be back next Sunday. And for all those out there, let Dan Salio know I'm coming out of hiding. I can't even stay awake. It's so boring. I'm coming out of hiding
he's
this
tone
week.
deaf,
And I'll
Mark.
be back.
Him and Philly can be a bit tone deaf, and they don't have.
Yeah, they're over there doing a circle jerk. We got it made this week. We ain't got Mark.
Yeah. Well, they don't have, like, here's the problem. Neither one of them has anybody to hold them accountable, like to say, hey, hold, calm down, or slow down with that kind of talk. You don't hear yourselves. And that's why I said they're incredibly tone deaf. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Dan Salio listens to respond. He does not listen to understand.
Yeah.
You have to have a
that.
certain name. You have to have a certain name in order for him to listen to understand. If you don't have a certain name, he's only listening to respond. You know what I'm saying? The problem with Philly 500 is he doesn't have the foresight or the presence of mind to understand what's right in front of him. Hence why I said, you know, I'm a bit disappointed because he missed a golden opportunity to go beyond football when it came to what his friend, Mark Holmes, was actually doing with his wife. That was something good. He could have used his platform to bring awareness to help.
He probably would have got some more Cowboys fans on his side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but again,
especially if you're pointing out, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mark, what's the name of the nonprofit that you were working with that made that possible? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What's the name of that nonprofit?
It was, Serve 360.
There you go.
And Hope
You know what I'm saying?
Coalition.
So now that we know that it was Serve 360, you know what I'm saying? This is a platform in which you could say, hey, everybody, why don't you go out and donate to Serve 360 so they can help even more families come next summer. So Mark is gone for 2 weeks rather than 1 week. You see what I'm saying? And somebody like Philly 500, that would have, if he'd have used his platform to do that, you know what I'm saying? To say, hey, my friend Mark Holmes, you know what I'm saying, is up in Vermont building homes and helping people get back into their homes. That would have came across so much better than saying something like he's hiding and running from you. He's in some sort of a safe house. If Dan Salio would have used his platform, and I'm going to say this, because I meant it. I mean it when I said it the first time. Dan Salio owes you and Philly 500 a debt of gratitude because by having you guys on his platform, you have raised his subscribers, views, all of that.
He's going to be nice to you this week. Why? Because you're good for business.
Exactly. But
so
here's the thing.
You won't hear about you were in. He might joke and say you're hiding.
But here's the thing. He, you know, from a what is the word I'm looking for? From a character perspective, he can't give you that kind of credit. He won't. Because again, you know what I'm saying? It's about, you know, he's listening to respond, not to understand. And he doesn't realize that some people are just above and beyond the back and forth and banter when everyone sees it. It's like everybody knows it but him. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what he says or how he says it. You know what I'm saying? They're tone deaf and to an extent culturally insensitive as well. I'll even go as far as to say that. They can be culturally insensitive.
All right. Well, good people, we're going to roll out of here and we're going to end it with this.
Here, and so before we start this video,
come on, Mark.
I gotta get this mother humping thing out of the way. Mark Holmes is my daddy.